Welcome back. Today I'm going to be reading from the Men on the Border Facebook page, their essay on STP. This is not my content. I merely ran across this essay on a Google search of Sid Barrett, Wynn Wilson, and STP. Was overwhelmed at the quality of this essay. I can't take any credit for it. I'm merely reading back someone else's work. So if you enjoy this, perhaps we want to go over to the Men on the Border Facebook group and show them some love. STP Part 1, originally posted June 1st, 2015. After a final gig in San Francisco, which is the hippie capital, in late August 1966, the Beatles decided to stop all touring. Instead, they concentrated their time on more and more elaborate studio efforts. This culminated with their landmark Sgt. Pepper album on June 1st, 1967. Another change with long-ranging implications took place in California in late 1966, when October 6th, LSD became illegal. This made the Haight-Ashbury a neighborhood of outlaws overnight, and the growing hippie community gathered on that same day in Golden Gate Park to stage a protest of sorts. The day-long event ended with a group reading from a psychedelic manifesto, while many in attendance placed a tab of acid on their tongues in unison. Some participants read excerpts from the Book of Revelation, noting the date of October 6th, 66, corresponded to the number of the beast, 666. Before this, LSD had not only been legal, but in fact openly used and tested on students at universities in the United States and globally by the psychiatry community. In the 50s, the CIA had in fact begun a research program codenamed MK Ultra, which was revealed in the mid-70s. Experiments included giving LSD to CIA employees, military personnel, doctors, other government agents, prostitutes, mentally ill patients, and members of the general public in order to study their reactions, usually without the subject's knowledge. Here lies a long, tangled story, but we go no further. Those who are interested should research more. So at the start of 1967, the use of hallucinogenic drugs was widespread. The market was there, but the production was illegal. Now what to do? Enter STP, or more correctly, DOM, a hallucinogen developed by the Dow Chemical Company in 1964 and considered an incapacitating agent by CIA scientists. Research subjects were rendered semi-comatose for several days. For some inexplicable reason, the formula for STP was released to the scientific community at large. An intriguing mystery surrounds the avenues of production and distribution, but we allow other sites to develop those thoughts further. With a street name taken from the initials of a motor additive, completely unrelated chemically, STP would hit the market at the start of the Summer of Love. It would have fateful consequences, most likely also for one young man from Cambridge, known as Sid Barrett. Thank you for joining me. This has been part 1 of the STP essay, brought to you by the Men on the Border Facebook group. This is a fascinating story that for some reason is left out of all of the documentaries. Everything that I've ever watched about the Summer of Love or hippie I've never once saw this mentioned. But they tend to, they don't bring up stuff like Theodore Adorno, Tavistock Institute, the Canyon, Jim Morrison's father in the Gulf of Tonkin incident. That stuff, that's what they leave out of the, and that's exactly why I'm here. And I would not be here if it was not for the Men on the Border Facebook page. Thank you so much, whoever put this lovely essay on STP together. My personal experience with this, I was aware of STP. I read about it in the 80s, and then that information just disappeared. I merely read that it was a popular psychedelic. That was all the information I had about it, and then I was gifted a guitar case that had an STP sticker on it, and now I see David Crosby's guitar with the STP logo on it, and things are starting to come together for me. And of course, I seem to have remember reading before when looking it up, finding out that it's not a good one. STP is really, really bad stuff. So my curiosity on this has been going back since like 1980 to 82 in there. And now I'm finally finding all of this information out. So I have to really thank people at Men on the Border and hope that you understand. I am doing this to promote your wonderful work. I'm not trying to take any credit. And if this gets removed from YouTube, I will be reposting it in other places such as Vimeo or BitChute, because I think that this information needs to be, that it's important enough that we as Americans understand our reality on these terms rather than the terms that were dictated to by the media. So thank you for understanding. Please join me for part 2. This is going to be a good one. Peace.